So a few months ago, I decided to turn this section of my basement into my 3D printing farm, as well as the YouTube studio. Little did I know how much time it was gonna take me, how much money it was gonna cost me, and how hard it was gonna be to get everything organized. So naturally, I turned to 3D printing to take care of at least one of them, which is organization. So I started doing a ton of research online and ultimately found that there are a ton of different options out there for organization. And I'm not gonna poo-poo any of the other ones because I didn't print them, but I am deciding to go with multi-board. Now, there are 4 main reasons why I decided to go with multi-board. 1, the modular design. You can start with something really small and then expand as your needs grow. 2, how customizable it is. You can find a ton of free STLs out there, and let's be honest, free is great because let's be real, we're all going broke because of this. Started with like 1 roll of filament, now I got tons. Started with 1 printer and here we are. The 3rd reason is how easy it is to print. Yes, it is a little complicated figuring out what snaps to go with which we'll get into, by the way. So whether you're a beginner or intermediate, or you've been doing 3D printing for a while, follow along. But we're gonna just be printing with PLA, which makes the printing side of things extremely easy. And number 4 is no commitments. If you don't like the design that you currently have, you can rip it off the wall and start all over again. All right, so with all of that out of the way, let's jump into the build. All right, so here's my game plan. It's to take this entire wall right here and build it out with multi-board. So why I decided to go with multi-board is obviously the organizational side of things, but I also wanted to find a good spot to display some of my favorite prints. I found a Kobe Bryant logo that I absolutely want to print and put it right here. It's an LED like light box, so we're gonna be printing that, as well as I also wanna make sure that it looks nice. My wife is going to be down in this space every once in a while, and I wanna make sure that my tools and everything are out of the way so she doesn't complain and allows me to keep doing this. So now this system also has to have a couple of different features as well, 2 more to be specific. I want it to be interchangeable, so I want to make sure that I can take something off and put it in a different space, and I also want to make sure that it's functional. I am not like an expert by any stretch of the imagination, so I might put something over here and then gotta run over on that side. It needs to be modular where I can move things around. So with any big project like this, the first step you wanna take is game planning. So I'm gonna hop over to the computer, show you guys the multi-board system, show you what we're gonna be doing so we can get to printing. All right, so if you guys have done any research on multi-board, you're probably a little overwhelmed by all of the different options. We're gonna simplify it with this video. There are 2 different steps, and with any big project, you wanna plan everything out. The first step is going to be getting the actual board all together. We're gonna hop on the computer and show you that. And then from there, what you actually wanna go on the wall, whether it's tools, display, that comes after. So I'm gonna get this taken care of, and then we're gonna hop in, get what we need to get organized, and then we'll go from that section. So let's dive into the website where we can actually build out the board itself. So that's kind of like the landscape. You guys know what I'm talking about. All right, so when you hop on the website, I actually go back. When you hop on the website, go right to get started, scroll right down to the multi-board planner, which is super important, like I mentioned. Grab your dimensions for your wall or whatever space you're looking at. I changed it to inches because freedom metric, and then freedom metric, you hear me? Freedom numbers, I don't know. I'm saying stuff at this point. You're gonna go right over to the width of the space and then the height. I'm changing it to an 8x8. Now, I also want to point out, if you have a Bamboo Lab printer or one of the standard bed, what is it, 256 by 256, printing out in the 8x8 will save you some heartaches. I tried to print out the 9x9s and it definitely makes it harder to stick on the bed. So go 8x8. So from there, I'm just gonna go bordered. I'm gonna hit get tile because this is supposed to be 61 by 92, I think is what it is. I already have this downloaded, as you guys saw on this last page, but either way, it's gonna give you this, and this is exactly how many borders you need to print out for the left side, the right side, so it really makes this part super simple, so you can download that list. As you saw right here, this is my list. Your list will look different, so we're gonna start and get everything printed out. Let's go. Okay, so now that I have the list of all of the tiles that I need to print, obviously we need to figure out what kind of filament we're gonna be using. So looking online, I did find that the best filament to use is going to be matte PLA. I don't know why, but that's what Jonathan from Keep Making says. So that's what we're gonna use today, and we're gonna use today's video sponsor, ZYL Tech. They sent me out 10 rolls of their matte black PLA, as well as 4 rolls of the green and a couple rolls of gray that we'll see here later on in the build. But Big shout out to them for sending this out. If you guys are looking for locally sourced PLA, so they actually are in the United States. So if you are a United States human being watching this video, definitely check them out. They're based out in Texas, Houston, Texas, I believe. They have awesome prices on filament. They offer things like PLA, ABS, PETG, and TPU, so pretty much all of the filaments that you might be looking for, I bet you they have them. Their prices are very reasonable, especially with the price hikes that you're seeing right now on Amazon for regular filament from like Sunlu and all the other brands that you normally get your stuff from. Definitely check them out. Shipping's fast, awesome customer service, and support local if you can, or I guess local to the country, but you know what I mean. They're United States based. Definitely check them out. Fantastic filament. We're gonna go ahead and start printing, probably do just a montage of printing out all of the grids. So let's talk about that after the montage. Okay, so the one thing I'm noticing as I'm printing off all of these tiles is it's extremely hot in here. And I think we have something to fix that. Drop the tiles. We have something to fix that. It's not this. When I was building this out, the one thing I didn't think about was how hot it's gonna be when I have all these 3D printers going. So I actually have a connection over at Turbo who sent me out one of their units that we're gonna talk about here. So I'm gonna pass it over to this Corey, and we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna pass it over to other Corey, this Corey, a different Corey. Same Corey, it's me, I'm just you guys get it. Let's talk about the Turbo unit that we just installed.
So again, just want to say a big thank you to Turbo for sending this out, and this DIY unit was extremely simple to set up. So did start with the indoor unit, taking the template out of the box, getting that mapped out where I wanted to put everything on the wall. I did call in a second set of hands here, got the bracket mounted, just put everything into some studs here. Did forget to mark the hole for the outside piping that we needed to do, so use a real nice drill bit, a real long drill bit, and then use this jigsaw to kind of go through and clean everything up. We hit a web, so we had to go through and do a little extra cleaning before we were able to put the PVC piping in, so got that all taken care of. From there, this is where that extra set of hands definitely came in to help. Got the refrigerant lines and the drain hose all set up, and we were able to fish that through the outside there. So got the bracket secured and got everything mounted up. On the outside, we started working on the outdoor unit, got the bracket on the wall, and then got everything leveled, which was super important because the next step was actually fishing the power line through as well. So this is the electrical out to the outdoor unit. So got everything set up that way, and then started connecting the refrigerant lines and getting the drain hose set up as well. So went through and connected everything to the outdoor unit. Made sure everything was secure. The only thing I did not get a chance to record was actually the vacuuming of the lines. I had to do a lot of research on that and find the right tools, but it was simple. That took about maybe 20 minutes or so. Then from there, got the unit all set up. Super excited to have cold air coming into the shop. So thanks again to Turbo for sending this over.
Okay, so now that all of the tiles are all printed out, technically it's already done. This is a Corey from the future video because I got the multi-board already done, but I lost the audio for this side. So I'm just gonna tell you what I said. Basically what I was saying was all of these are done. Now we're gonna get everything up on the board. I'm gonna start by doing the grid on the outside. So starting with the very top section. So I'm gonna get that screwed in at the very top, and then I'm gonna work my way from the top to the right side, then the left side down, and then work my way on the inside. So that is a montage that's coming up here shortly that we're gonna go ahead and cut to right now. Okay, so I do have I basically have the right-hand side and the bottom and the left-hand side halfway up done. I think I'm actually gonna attach that section to the wall, and then I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna attach that section to the wall, use the drywall anchors, get that section done so I have a base. I think that's what we're gonna do. Clearly not sold on it, but we're going for it. That's what we're doing. Now, actually, I might even just do a smaller section because I don't know. Yeah. Oh, we got a problem. What did I mess up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's only 6, that's why. I didn't mess anything up. Where did I get these other edges from? Oh, those are probably the left edges. What? I don't know. I might just do this section first and just get this section up. I think that's what we're gonna do. Just gonna get this section on the wall. Oh, I realized what's wrong though. Oh my gosh. That really messed this up. Oh, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pieces this way. Is that not? Bottom edge is 6. I think that just worked out perfectly. Forget to put a snap on there. I think so. So after some questionable decisions on what section to start with, I was thinking about doing the entire thing down here and putting it up there. We're not gonna do that. We're actually gonna do the very top portion first, and then I can build down and around and then drill in as I need to. So let's go ahead and do that. So that section's up. Okay, so after some trial and error, I think I figured it out. I'm gonna do the edges first and get that square on this section, and then I'm gonna pull everything together with the middle pieces. And I'm actually putting it right on the wall, and then I'm gonna screw everything in, because it seems to be easier that way. I also have plywood behind that, so I don't have to put any anchors in. But if you don't have plywood behind, it's just drywall, definitely put those wall anchors in. But I'm gonna go through and just build out the rest of this section here. I do gotta print some for whatever I'm gonna do there, not sure yet, but I'm gonna go through and keep working on this section here. So there's an outlet right here that I'm gonna probably use to wire up some LEDs like the Kobe logo that I was talking about. So my wife had a good idea of just cutting this out. So I'm just gonna use these snips and cut out that section. So let's keep it. Okay, and now that's almost done. I gotta print a couple pieces, as you can see. So while that's doing that and I gotta print the snaps, what I'm actually gonna do is lay out all the items that I want to get up on the board so I could start figuring out the things either I need to design them or I need to find somewhere to print them out. So let's look at what I want to put on the board. So this is what I have so far. I'm gonna be adding to it, and yeah, let's figure out the rest of it. So it's the next morning, and yeah, didn't get nearly enough stuff done. So we're gonna tackle getting the rest of this stuff on the walls. It's a little early, so I'm not gonna start drilling and hammering yet, but so we got done. We needed to print a couple more plates here. I am gonna reprint these plates here. So I'm printing those right now as we speak. And then I am gonna start hammering away and drilling into the wall, and then gonna get some accessories printed, and hopefully this should be done. This is taking me a long time, well, a few days, just a ton of printing. So let's keep working. Okay, so since I am waiting to start hammering and drilling and stuff, I have all the snaps and stuff that I need to put together. So I'm gonna start working on some of the accessories for the board that I know I need to print. So I'm gonna start looking on Maker World and Printables, and I already have some things printed out, but I need to print out some more. So let's go. All right, so putting the last couple of final touches onto this wall, and then we're gonna be done. So it's figured we'll do it together. I gotta cut out this section for the outlet as well. So let's go ahead and get that going. Need a couple more snaps here. All right. Timing, that one finished perfectly. Let's go. Finally complete. Just right at the end. Obviously gotta be difficult, right? Last screw going into the wall. Then we're good. Cut out this outlet here, as you guys can probably see. Right there. Actually looks cleaner too. Boom, I love it. All right, so you can see I just cut the pieces around the outlet here. Just use these little, the flush trim, or the, I don't even know what these are called. The cutters that you get with your 3D printer. So now I'm gonna vacuum this up and we're gonna get on to putting the accessories on the wall, which is the hardest part. Okay, so after dozens of hours and a few rolls of filament, we finally have the wall complete from head to toe. I am very happy with this. This looks awesome. And I think it's gonna look even better once we start getting things on the wall. So as we can see over here, some of the things that I'm gonna be putting on the wall, and one quick shout out as well. If you do plan on doing this, this is all of my failures here. You'll run through a ton, obviously. Some of them were my fault, some of them were bed adhesion, some of it was just good times. So yeah, tons of failures, but still relatively simple to put together. And now, all that being said, we are ready to get some of these items on the board. So here's my thought. I'm gonna sacrifice workflow a little bit to have the YouTube studio be a thing. So I think on this section, so kind of like this corner section here, I'm gonna use as display, because when I'm shooting, my normal camera angle has that in the section. So that's where I'm gonna do the Kobe Bryant Mamba logo right here, some of my favorite prints here, my benchy display here, and then on this section, I think I'm gonna do more of the items that I want to have quick access to. So like these hot ends and things along those lines, and some pens and things like that. So I am gonna hop online and get some more things printed. I do have some of the items printed, but I'm not a huge fan of them. So that's gonna take a very, very long time as well, coming up with all those ideas. So let's get started, shall we? Now for the organizational side of things that we're gonna be putting up there outside of the display that we talked about, I want to get everything organized and labeled. So thanks to Liene, I believe is how you pronounce it, they actually sent me out their PixCut S1. It's a printer, so photo printer, as well as it is a sticker cutter. So that's what we're gonna use today to actually cut out some of the labels. So I wanna label some of the bins that I printed out, so I know exactly what goes in there, as well as when I take a tool off, I wanna be able to have a picture of that. So if someone comes down and needs to put something back on the board, they know exactly where everything goes. I'm not gonna get like crazy organized and like label every single thing, but we are gonna use this. It is a, like I said, a sticker cutter and a photo printer. So we're probably gonna use the sticker side of things so I can stick everything on, but hopping into the app, it's extremely easy to use, and I already have everything kind of ready to go. So when you're hopping into the app, what I'm gonna do is just use some normal, just names like you would use a label maker for, but for the names and labels of things, I'm going to get everything labeled, and then I'm going to take pictures of the items so I have pictures of the things that need to go back. So let's do that quickly. So after you have everything together, you can see it's going to just cut everything out for you, or it's going to label everything. So I'm going to hit cut, got it, and then let that do its thing. You can see it's already going. Oh yeah. Okay, so that was very simple. All you do is use the app. Now you can see I have these little labels. I didn't add bamboo parts, I just add bamboo. So I'm gonna go get this on the board. Okay, so we have just a couple more things that I want to get on this wall. You guys can't see the whole thing, but we are going to break. We're going to do some B-roll here, and then I'll hit you guys with the final reveal at the end here. So let's go ahead and just roll a montage of B-roll, of printing stuff and print accessories and putting stuff on the wall. Let's do it. So after about 3 days of printing, maybe 4 days, about 8 rolls of empty filament, the job is pretty much done. I'm gonna give you guys a big reveal and then we're gonna end this video. Gonna continue to add to it because there's a couple sections missing, but let's just get to the board and see what this looks like. Okay, so everything is finally done and just wanna go through a quick rundown of what I was able to get together here. So starting kind of on the right-hand side and making my way over. So this is the organizational side of things. So you guys already saw the build plate and the stickers. So what I used here were, you can actually find these online on, I wanna say, I got these bins. Oh yeah, these are actually from Multibin. So I did buy the subscription there. So these are for Multibin. I think everything else that I got was a remix of some sort, except for this here and then these. Everything else was a remix that I found on MakerWorld, which I'll link everything down below. So if you want to find any of these items yourself for your board, you absolutely can. But so starting over here with this build plate, I have a couple build plates that we can put here on the side. I have some hot ends, so I have my hardened steel nozzles here, and then I'm probably going to throw a label here. Right here, I just printed a little shelf to hold the Elegoo ones. I might be able to put something else in there. Have little holders here for the glue sticks. Here is where I put my snips, and then I have some pliers up top here. I might even throw a little label there. Butane torch. We have the butane torch here. Just like I said, wanted to get everything as organized as I possibly could without going kind of too overboard. And then right here is just a little hook for my tape measure. Going up here, we have the drills, as we saw in that last clip here. So going to have these available on MakerWorld, I believe, as well. I just printed out 2 little hooks. I think this was also from Multiboard as well. So this is just for a little hammer. Moving over here, just some commonly used screwdrivers that I have little hooks for those. Then right here, I have my pens and pencils, and then I have some scrapers, and I also have a pair of scissors. We already talked about the bins. Over here, just have a section for my favorite prints as we were talking about. So right here, I got a little Orca and some Nikes, which I thought was pretty dope. Got Goku. We also have the Mamba logo with 24. Like I said, that's a light box, which I think looks pretty cool. Making our way up here, got some benchies that I need to fix here. Also have my very first model that I printed out, just one of those Legos. Have a like and subscribe. Hit the like and subscribe. And up top here, I have the jet engine that you can print out from your Prusa Core 1. So the only other thing I plan on doing in the meantime is getting a couple more of these shells and printing a big sign for up top. But other than that, that is the organizational side of things and the what the board looks like here. I am learning from the Swedish maker. I do want to give a quick shout out to him. He did a video on how to make boxes, and his course is fire. It is by far the easiest course that I've been able to learn on how to 3D model some of my specific issues that I need to do for my board. Definitely check it out. I won't link it down, but check the Swedish Makers YouTube channel and then you'll find that video. You'll find the course, you get it. But yeah, that's kind of where we're gonna wrap everything up. I'll pass it over to other Corey to wrap up the video. Peace. Okay, so once again, I want to give a big thank you to Turbo for supplying the mini split and making it so it's cool down here, as well as ZYL Tech for supplying the filament so we can get this multi-board project done. It is not completely finished. Like I said, there's a couple things I want to add. So make sure you are subscribed. Hit the subscribe button down below so you can see what other things are added to this board as we go along. And if you are not subscribed, make sure you hit that because next week, maybe, or the week after, not sure yet, we're going to be having AI completely deck out my new desk area. So make sure you subscribe for that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. You're still here? Goodbye.